All right, welcome back. We have spent 9 deep dives getting into the weeds of radio frequency interference, what it is, where it comes from, and all the havoc it can wreak. Well, we've finally made it to the last installment. Today, we're going to put all those pieces together and answer the big question. How do you actually build an organization that's resilient to RFI?
Yep, this is it, part 10, the big finale of our series. And remember, this entire journey, especially the strategy we're about to lay out, comes directly from a super comprehensive technical report by the pros over at RFI Detectives, who are a division of Virtualization Options LLC.
Honestly, their work has been the absolute backbone for us, helping us make sense of this really complex and, often invisible threat.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We have seen how RFI can just completely disrupt everything, from a busy factory floor to a critical hospital room. We've talked about the sources, the ways it travels, and the poor devices that end up being victims. So, after all that, what's the real solution? How do we get out of this constant cycle of fighting fires and actually prevent them from starting? Well, the report boils it all down beautifully into 3 core pillars. And this isn't just, a random list of things to do. No, this is a complete framework, a whole new way to think about building organizational resilience. Let's break them down.
First up, we've got pillar number 1, the framework. And the bedrock of this whole thing is knowing the standards, the rules of the road that govern the world of electromagnetic compatibility.
And look, these aren't just some obscure, dusty documents. They're basically the official rulebooks for different arenas. You've got FCC Part 15 for all our consumer gadgets, IEC 61000 for tough industrial environments, the supercritical 6061 for hospitals. You remember the medical device chaos we talked about in Part 5, right? And then there's MIL Standard 461 for military gear. Each one clearly defines what playing nice looks like when it comes to RFI.
So here's the real game changer. Don't just think of these standards as a bureaucratic box to check off. Smart organizations, they use them proactively. You bake them right into your procurement specs, so when you're buying new equipment, you can literally demand proof of compliance. It turns a simple regulation into this incredibly powerful quality control tool. All right, that leads us right into pillar 2, which is all about the mindset. This is where we shift the entire organization's culture from being reactive, always caught off guard, to being proactive. It's about making EMC awareness just part of your company's DNA.
So, what does that actually look like day to day? Well, the report lays out 4 key steps. 1. Do RF site surveys before you install critical systems. 2. Use those standards we just talked about to set really strict procurement rules. 3. Standardize how you do things like cabling and grounding. And 4, and this is a big one, train your people so they can actually spot potential RFI problems before they become disasters.
And here is the why that you can take to your boss. The business case is it's a slam dunk. The cost of doing a site survey or running a training session is tiny, a fraction of what you'd spend on production downtime, lost data, or having your best people chase some phantom glitch for weeks on end. Being proactive isn't just a good idea, it's just plain smart business.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar, the lifeline. This is all about being honest about what you don't know, recognizing the limits of your in-house expertise, and knowing exactly when it's time to call in the cavalry.
The report puts it perfectly, I think, and very bluntly. Professional RFI investigation services exist for a reason. Trying to hunt down these invisible problems without the right gear and years of experience, well, it's really just an expensive guessing game. Just think about the 2 paths here. On one side, you have endless downtime. You're swapping out perfectly good equipment because you think it's the problem, and you're burning through staff hours on dead ends. On the other side, you bring in an expert who finds the root cause fast. The report is crystal clear on this. The money you spend on that expert help is almost always way less than the cost of just letting the problem continue to disrupt your operations. So let's take these 3 pillars, the framework, the mindset, and the lifeline, and put it all together. Think of it as a kind of RFI resilient scorecard for your own organization. And really, this is the one question I want to leave you with. Is your organization proactive? Are you actively using standards, training your staff, and designing resilience into everything you do? Or are you just kind of waiting around, reacting to the next crisis, the next mysterious glitch, the next time production grinds to a halt for no apparent reason? The answer to that question really determines whether you are in control of your environment or if your environment is in control of you.
And with that, we've wrapped up our 10-part journey into the world of RFI. I just want to say a huge thank you for sticking with us. This whole series was only possible because of the incredibly detailed work and the report from RFI Detectives, a division of Virtualization Options LLC. Their expertise is what gave us the clarity and the strategy we've shared with you. Thanks for watching.